And we're at the Perth domestic terminal. Aren't we, darling?
Yes, darling.
Start of our holiday.
Yes, darling. What today?
13th today.
It's 5:30.
$5.17. Over there is the Perth International Airport. That's the control tower.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Airlink Flight 942 to Alice Springs, Cairns and connecting ports is now ready for boarding. Would passengers for this service please make their way now to gate number 3A, which is adjacent to gate number 3. This is a call for passengers on Airlink Flight 942 to Alice Springs, Cairns and connecting ports.
Welcome to the Sheraton Atlanta Airport Hotel. You may ask why we are in Atlanta, and also our baggage is in our Daytona.
Yes.
Bit of a mix-up. We've got this lovely room in Atlanta. Very cool. You know how to use the coffee?
As you can see, the time is 11:15.
Oh shit.
Our first flight was from at 6:35 Monday morning in Perth, and this is our very first actual stop. So we've been delayed at 3 different airports. Delayed at Sydney by an hour and a half. Delayed at LA by about
Two and a bit.
over 2.5 hours. And we've been delayed here by
Oh, night time.
at least an hour and a half because our baggage isn't here. Anyway, we've ended up here, and tomorrow we fly to Daytona tomorrow morning,
To meet our baggage.
and we're not even sure if our baggage is going to be there. So a wow of a time. At least we've seen Atlanta. I'll film this tomorrow morning, should be quite a view.
And if you listen out the window, you can hear the jet planes roaring in. Freezing cold.
Yeah, it's freezing cold. Probably be at least 0 out there, I'd say. Quite chilly. And report back tomorrow. Good night.
Yuck.
Valentine's Day 1995, February 14th.
Welcome to Atlanta.
What's the time, Denise?
Hi, bees. 8:15.
8:15. This is the view from the Sheraton. Denise is saying it's a lot like England here, mainly because of the trees, eh?
And it's wet and
it's
cloudy and cold. So the Delta Airlines over there.
Around the corner is out of the airport. And they're all Delta Airline. This is a Delta Airline terminal. Very big airline. And the problem is, they lose your baggage and the planes break down and still.
They put you up in the Sheraton.
The funny thing is, this is obviously the Olympic City for next year. I can imagine the chaos with baggage flying everywhere, ending up in Daytona when it should be here and things like that. And we're now off on our way to Daytona, hopefully to find our baggage. Glasses on. Welcome to our hotel in Daytona Beach. The parade you just saw was at 11 o'clock this morning. As soon as we turned up, the people kicked us out of the office and said, leave all your bags here, there's a big parade on. Apparently it's an annual event. Have old race cars do a parade every year. And it's now 4:30. It's the afternoon. Been for a walk, got some groceries. Now we're just going to have a look on the beach. A hotel between that building and that building apparently. Darling, happy Valentine's Day.
Thank you. We'll be back next year. Yes. Which one? Welcome to Daytona, 15th of February on a Wednesday. This is in our motel at Daytona Beach Shores, is it? Yes.
No, the Daystar Motel. Show you what we've been buying lately. At Sydney, we bought by 5 rolls, get 3 rolls free. We bought 16 rolls of film. Plus a bottle of Bundy, which is what, about $11?
Yeah.
And a bottle of Bean for about
Half empty.
$13, was it?
Yeah.
We've only been here 2 nights.
Litre bottle.
A litre. But we've got to drink this before we leave America, so you understand. Of course, today was the first day out of the track. We just went to pick up our tickets. Where are they? Show you this first.
Yeah, tickets packed away.
After we went to the Speedway, we went to a shop called Woolworth, not Woolworths, called Woolworth, which is the largest Daytona souvenir shop in the world, they call it. Probably the only one in America. This is the t-shirt I bought. The front. From the back. Okay.
Yep.
This is what? About $14?
$14.99.
This is Denise's $89 American jacket. Feel that?
Yeah. I'll zoom in on that bit.
Okay. Beautiful jackets. Like a spray jacket.
Yep.
Quilted on the inside. Now, oops. This is Denise's Roadrunner NASCAR shirt.
Hold on, see if I can see what it says.
Can you read that? It says NASCAR race today.
Yep.
On the back, Roadrunner.
Very cute.
This is not cheapo, it's only about $5.
Thanks.
Another one of Denise's shirts. Daytona.
Mm-hmm. Turn around.
On the back is all the list of events for the year.
Mm-hmm.
And this is my jacket. They only come in medium to extra large, which is why they're quite big.
It's because Americans are quite big.
We know that, don't we?
Sort of noticed that one.
I'll zip it up, I could. Anyway. How's that?
Very good.
This is my Daytona cap.
Yep.
So it says 95, that one?
Yep.
What does that say? Daytona?
Daytona?
What does that say?
Nothing?
Nothing? Okay. Take that off, and it's about 100 degrees in there because of this thing. Yep. Denise's.
It's a bit big for you.
Your head's a bit bigger than mine, is it?
I haven't tried it on yet.
Another thing we did today, we went to a Circle Track magazine trade show, and basically what we did was pick up a lot of stickers. Things like this which don't mean anything, but since Denise likes stickers, we picked them up anyway. We actually saw an Aussie there today, Barry Graham, who with Richard Petty runs a Richard Petty Experience, which is where you pay a few bucks and you get to Richard Petty or Barry Graham teach you how to drive a NASCAR. I think it's at Charlotte International Speedway. And another thing we picked up a couple of days ago, which should interest everybody, check out the cornflakes.
Cornflakes box.
It's a Dale Earnhardt cornflake box. Okay, got that on the front, 7 times champion. On the side, don't worry about that, it's only nutritional facts. On the back, it's got the story of every year that he won a championship. It's also got a catalogue for all his merchandise. On the side, it's got an advert for Good Wrench, which is his sponsor. In the middle, there's actually cornflakes.
Oh no. Okay.
Quite amazing. Basically, that's about all we've done so far. Tomorrow we go to watch the racing. Today we went to the visitor centre, and we could actually, from the second story of the visitor centre, you actually see the cars on the racetrack, and they're flying. Tomorrow's the 125 qualifier, should be fantastic.
Number 77. Row 3, Kyle Petty in a Pontiac. Felix Sabatis owned car. Kyle out of Randallman, North Carolina, the Coors Light Pontiac. Excellent qualifying effort for Kyle. Beside him, the 3-time Western Cup champion, Darrell Waltrip out of Franklin, Tennessee, in the Western Auto Chevrolet. Row 2, Michael Waltrip out of Owensboro, Kentucky. He's the pole sitter for Saturday's Goodies 300, and he will start fourth in this first qualifying event in the Pennzoil Pontiac. Beside him in third spot is Terry Labonte, Corpus Christi, Texas driver in the Kellogg's Cornflakes Chevrolet. Front row, 32 cars set to go 50 laps, 125 miles, and once again the top 13 among the non-qualifying cars, that of course excludes Dale Jarrett, will make it into Sunday's Daytona 500.
For the start of the Gatorade Twin 125s and acquaint you with the voices you'll be hearing throughout the broadcast today. Positioned as he has been for many a year, top turns 1 and 2 in the west end of the Speedway, Joe Moore of Hampton, Virginia.
Like it afternoon, everyone. About 40 feet up in the air, once he has the Floyd at the exit of turn number 2. What we've watched at this end of the track is the cars going up into turn 1, climbing that 31-degree banking, trying to set the car, but also
The main grandstand is full. Most all of the seats in the Tiny Lund grandstand on the back straightaway filling rapidly. A good infield crowd. This is clearly the largest crowd to ever witness a midweek sporting event that I can think of. With all of the great races and other stick and ball events taking place on weekends. This midweek crowd here at Daytona.
Nobody will get out front in clean air but himself. Now Dale Jarrett stands on it. Looks like he may get in front of everybody all by himself in turn one. Jarrett first gets the nose on in front. Now the whole car taking sole possession of the lead. Sterling Marlin falls in line behind him. Terry Labonte next. Then it's 3 wide for fourth. To the outside up against the wall is Kyle Petty. Diving down low is Darrell Walton. Walton takes the goes back to for fifth. Michael Waltrip is to his inside, racing for that spot. Right behind them, 3 cars, 3 wide. Davy Jones is there. He's feeling a challenge to his inside from Jeff Purvis. Now Purvis eases in line behind Jones, double wide. Jones trying to pick up a toe from Mike Waltrip as he dives down to the inside of the racetrack. Waltrip's white yellow car alongside Rusty Wallace in a side-by-side battle for fifth.
But all of that double file racing now is allowing temperatures are up in the low 80s now, a whole lot warmer than it's been through the early and middle stages of the week. How much of a handful is that on the lead here today?
Well, it's a little bit of a gambling situation. Overcast skies. So they're going to have to do a little bit of guessing. These cars are mandated a minimum 40 degrees or more. I think everybody starting today bumped them up to at least 45 degrees. So they were pretty concerned about the slippery conditions. They're having a hard time getting good. Here are the main cars on pit road for they're going to go for it. Tire change. Ken Schrader opting to stay on the racetrack. Remember the fuel mileage that the Hendrick cars have gotten over the years, but Schrader's teammate, the Hendrick Racing Stable, Kellogg's Colors of Terry Labonte on pit road. Get up, get up! Oh, and there's
the leaders who are in here. Although not everybody, first to Jim Phillips.
Well, we're going to find out how the tires mean. Kenny Schrader chose not to bid, but Darrell Walton came in and got more tires. Kyle Petty, Rusty Wallace, Jeff Purvis. Another one staying out on the track was Steve Grissom. He chose not to bid. But the other cars, Bobby Hamilton, Joe Nemechek, all of them came in. Sterling Marlin, who was the leader before this caution, came in and got 4 tires. That's gasoline.
Nick Beckle, Michael Waltrip, Dale Jarrett, Michael Waltrip, all with 4 tires of gasoline. 1 round of wedge in the right rear of Michael Waltrip's car, trying to fix that loose situation. No chassis adjustments on the Dale Jarrett car, just 4 tires in Unical gasoline.
Also, Mike Wallace has run over the jack as he left the Highland Meyer pit area. Happened directly in front of a NASCAR official who was standing there. He'll have to bring the Highland Myers car back down pit road for a check of the tires, and he'll return to the racetrack, but obviously losing valuable positions.
From Daytona International Speedway, this is MRN Radio.
Don't need that
Once again under caution for the second time today here at Daytona, this first 125-mile qualifier. Bobby Helen doing a wonderful job of keeping that car out of the concrete wall and spun to the right and back around to the left. He kept the car down on that newly paved area, off of curve 2, spreading off speed, and heading back to the road and cutting the tire down. Inside of Jones.
Still working the second caution of the afternoon, lap 36 of 50 here at Daytona International Speedway. Ken Schrader did not pit. Steve Grissom did not pit. Jeff Bodine did not pit in this sequence, although he did come in back on lap number 9, you might remember, during the Steve Kinzer problem.
3 wide at turn 1. Back to the 2 wide. And Rusty Wallace. Behind him is Dale Jarrett, a pair of 4s. Then comes the Kellogg's Colors of Terry Labonte. In 6th position, back in 7th now, settling in is Kyle Petty. Behind him in 8th spot is the car number 71 of Marcus. And Michael Waltrip now begins to make a move on the inside of turn 3. The 5th Royal Pontiac looking to get some help. Waltrip pulled in behind. That is Joe Nemechek.
Daytona 500. The others have to wait
It's history, and Sterling Marlin serving notice, and he will definitely be a force to contend with on Sunday for the 37th annual Daytona 500. The man who won it all a year ago. The Morgan McClure Chevrolet, the Kodak colors, and Sterling showing a tremendous amount of muscle as he takes the victory in the first of two 125-mile qualifiers. Some scary moments in his final lap as Bobby Hamilton diving out of turn 4, trying to get in that one of those turns to the spot. They will stop the field as you head into pit road and check the spoilers. The minimum degrees there, and the spoiler cars will be allowed to go back to the garage area.
Well, he won last year, stayed on the 500, and Sterling Marlin is letting everybody know he'll be tough to get here this weekend. Fred Armstrong, you said it's a mouthful. They talked about Bobby Hamilton coming off turn number 4 a short while ago. Looks like he was back in his old Nashville, Tennessee dirt tracks because he was sliding that car everywhere.
Had at least 20 degrees out of shape. He lied to the inside of the lake track. Daytona International Speedway.
Mike Chase from Bakersfield, California. 23rd, Steve Seligman from Lake Forest, Illinois. Jim Sauter from Necedah, Wisconsin goes 22nd. And 21st, Billy Standridge of Shelby, North Carolina.
Chad Little from Spokane, Washington is 20th on the field. The extra strength Bayer Aspirin Ford. Starting in 19th, Ben Hess of Wadsworth, Ohio. In the Radius Motorsports Ford, starting in 18th, Bill Bartell of Phoenix, Arizona. The X1R Ford. 17th belongs to Jeff Burke from South Boston, Virginia. The Vestas Brakes Ford. 16th starter, Randy LaJoy of Norwalk, Connecticut. In the MBNA America Pontiac. 15th starter, Ricky Craven from Newburgh, Maine. In the Kodiak Chevrolet. 14th, John Andretti from Indianapolis, Indiana. 13th on the field here. Virginia and the Tide Ford in 11th starting spot.
Top 10, Bill Elliott of Dawsonville, Georgia has the McDonald's Ford in 10th. 9th, Todd Bodine from Chemung, New York, the Factory Stores Ford. 8th is Mark Martin of Batesville, Arkansas, driving the Valvoline Ford. And from Pittsboro, Indiana, Jeff Gordon as the DuPont Automotive Finishes Chevrolet in 7th. 6th is Morgan Shepherd of Conover, North Carolina, the Citgo Ford. 5th, Bill Parsons from Detroit, Michigan, the TriStar Motorsports Ford. 4th starter, Lake Speed out of Jackson, Mississippi. He drives the Spam Ford. Bobby Labonte from Corpus Christi, Texas, is in the Interstate Batteries Chevrolet going in 3rd spot. And the front row, Robert Presley of Asheville, North Carolina, the Skull Bandit Chevrolet. And on the pole, Dale Earnhardt of Kannapolis, North Carolina, Goodwin Service Chevrolet at 193.44 Gennard, North Carolina. The funeral was held earlier this week, and it's obviously kept that team away from the racetrack as far as upper management is concerned, and all of us extending our condolences to Richard and Leo Jackson, the entire families, on the passing of their father earlier last weekend.
Pontiac pace car with a field in tow, getting ready to dive on a pit road and turn it loose in the second of the Gatorade 125 milers. Let's see if this one is calm as the last one is reaching its full speed now. Through the gearbox, he'll get a half a car length over Robert Presley, and if he eases off into turn number 1, Earnhardt says this car is strong. Chase me a while. They head to turn 2.
Bobby Labonte now will challenge for the second spot. He dives to the inside of Robert Presley, and he'll get that nose out and bump for that position. Presley struggles to stay in line. Right behind him, they're stacked up double wide. Lake Speed leads the Morgan Shepherd car. Then it's Phil Parsons down low. Jeff Gordon on his rear deck.
Here comes Phil Parsons down to the bottom of the inside of Bobby Labonte here. 3 wide for the second spot. Labonte's got no drafting help. He slides backwards. Meantime, a challenge to the lead. Here goes Robert Presley on the outside of the car.
Lake Speed squeezes to the outside of Dale Earnhardt. He'll grab the second spot, but Earnhardt's not finished yet. Here he comes back. The battle for second in turn 2. Earnhardt's up down low. He's got a nose in front of Lake Speed.
Earnhardt drafting help on the median back lumber, but now Robert Presley pulls out the racetrack.
500. Roy Allen is 190.2. Jimmy Spencer 189.243. Billy Stanwich 187.6. So this situation that is not at all good news for any of those men. Never is an accident good news, but particularly trying to get into the Daytona 500, that was a tough thing to have to deal with for those drivers involved. Let's check in with Winston Kelly again.
Mike Chase has crawled out of his Monte Carlo. Mike, what happened to the car?
Well, the active motor servo there, we just had the thing vibrate. Just start vibrating with that. I don't know if there's some internally in the motor room. What really exactly happened, but it was coordinated. It was all done.
That's Mike Chase with a speed of 185.705. Looks very dim, his chances of getting into the Daytona 500. Let's pause 10 seconds on MRN radio for station identification. Back at the Daytona International Speedway, and the second caution of the afternoon in the second Gatorade 125 happening here just a moment ago as Jimmy Spencer's car got into the outside wall. Spencer is out of his car, taking a look at it right now. As Eli said, he was one of those drivers that really needed to finish in the top 15 here this afternoon. All of those guys taking a scary ride all the way down toward turn number 1, slid about 800 and 900 feet. And it looks like Spencer will not be able to continue. They're asking him to go to the infield care center right now, but apparently he is okay, but very disgusted down there. And Joe Moore, from your vantage point, could you see if any of the other drivers climbed out?
Billy Stanwich has climbed from his car. He's down on the apron of the track. They walked him over towards the ambulance. Loy Allen's still in his car. I guess they're just going to make the hooker make the connection here since he's right in the middle of the racetrack and pull him away from him.
Right now, of course, maybe one of those drivers right there, possibly Rick Bass. We'll find out whether we'll see Spencer as a candidate for the race. That's the race of the race award. We've got one to give out for both of the Gatorade twins today. Marty and I will select that a bit later on. The driver who has the biggest break.
That could be right on the borderline. He's hoping to be able to end up in the top 15 here this afternoon to race the Daytona 500. Again, 3 cars are going to the garage area. Jimmy Spencer, Loy Allen, and I believe Billy Stanwich's car also will be through today. Here it comes up pit road right now. So this accident right here in the dog leg, just past the start-finish line, will take 3 more machines out. We joined the broadcast a little late. Rick Bass went out with a blown engine. James Hilton, he had a problem, sent him to the garage area along with
That is how the provisional starting spots for Seattle based on team's points. Travis Carter, the driving tours for Unstrictly a year ago, is in 26th place as far as points are concerned. So he is eligible for a provisional starting spot. You've got to be 35th or better to even have the option to use a provisional start. But of course the question is who ahead of him will have to use provisional starting spots through the base of these 2 races. So a lot to unfold yet here today in this remaining few laps of this Gatorade Twin 125.
Today found a little bit of metal shaving on the spark plug earlier today. Dewey Copian, late speed overshoots his pit stall. He's got to go back. Several other cars in Morgan Shepherd, Ricky Rudd, all getting 4 tires gasoline, a round of wedge, 2 rounds, and Morgan Shepherd to Jim Phillips.
Jim Gordon in there, but he's been in the pit. So that means that Bobby Labonte will beat him out. Dale Earnhardt beats him out. Mark Martin beats him out. Musgrave beats him out. Todd Bodine beats him out. And now he leads his pit stall. All these cars getting tires and gasoline on this end of the pit lane.
From Daytona International Speedway, this is MRN Radio. Quick pit work down there for a number of teams. Excellent pit work for Jimmy Maycar and the Interstate Batteries team as Bob.
Go out that way. What happened?
Well, we just had a little problem here in the pits. Cars got a little bit too close to the wall. We had to push him back to get out. Those things are going to happen. We'll just have to... Car bouncing into the outside wall when he came through the smoke and saw the Markdahl car sitting across the track. That's Jim Sauter. Made a right-hand turn and stuffed his car into the wall rather than hit Markdahl broadside. Markdahl was the first one that broke loose, and there was a couple of near misses. Very close came to the car, but he scuttered by a couple of the cars also dug to the inside or outside. Markdahl's car again spun around a couple of times. Damaged on it, but he was able to refire it and went back around.
Now Phil Parsons is running in that final transfer spot. Here he comes across the start. Down all of those answered.
Well,
caution being shown for the fourth time today in the second 125-mile qualifying event. Trouble off of turn 2 involving Phil Bartol in the car number 73. The X1R4 Thunderbird also being collected in that incident. The car
Weeks 95 coverage on MRN Radio continues this evening as Western Auto join us across the street at Daytona Beach for the NASCAR World will visit. Then at 9 o'clock tonight here on MRN, the Cal Squire Show. Jeff Bodine, Bobby Allison, and Derek Cope will be among 10 guests again from NASCAR World at 9 o'clock Eastern Time. Here tomorrow's no race of champions. Saturday, the Goodies 300 for the NASCAR Busch Series, 12 noon Eastern Time. You'll hear the broadcast on MRN. And of course, Sunday, the Daytona 500, 12 noon Eastern Time, again on MRN Radio.
Let's get out of pit road right now, see if we can get a word with Phil Bartol.
Well, Phil has just crawled out of his car.
For that movie. Yeah, that's the sound for the movie.
Elliott's car, and Bill has told him that the car Phil got behind me.
It's like sound control.
If I knew I didn't have the race, I should only go ahead and go because I've finished 15 to finish Sunday, but I'll be here.
That's Phil Bartol and Phil Parsons just in his car behind him.
Phil Bartol battling cancer.
For Speed Weeks come Sunday. Will Dale Earnhardt win his first ever Daytona 500 on Sunday afternoon when he saw last Sunday and today. He is certainly a force to be reckoned with.
Well, Dale Earnhardt's won a 50-miler, the Busch Clash. He's won a 125-miler. Regional Speedway, this is MRN Radio.
Ladies and gentlemen, we do invite you to stay around as there will be practices time permits here this afternoon. Hey, it's only 20 minutes till 3. You'll be able to see the cars that start, the NASCAR, able to back to see that. Busch Grand National Series, get his dash cars.
The Dow Jones Industrial Average failed to pass the 4,000-point milestone today. It did move a little bit closer. Stocks gained a point and a third to close at a new high for the second straight day. The Dow stands at 39.87. Investor worries about the drop in the dollar kept stock buying down. Another economic news, higher mortgage rates are taking their toll on home building. The Commerce Department reports construction of new homes and apartments plunged nearly 10% last month. It was the second straight drop and the largest in a year. Mortgage rates averaged just over 9%, 2 points higher than a year ago. Remember that?
That's right.
That's it for this news update. I'm Bobby Batista.
I'm Edwin Stokes. Stay with us for 5 news, which is next, I think. First, the current local conditions. Your local 36-hour forecast from the National Weather Service.
USA, home of the Sugarloaf Super Squad, the longest, fastest chairlift in the East. I want to go ride that right about now. All right, well, here's a look at our ski conditions in the East, and we're looking at some loose granular, but some fresh snow in Killington, and Sunny River's also picked up some new snow. Groomed in Winter Place. Hey, Waterville Valley's reporting pack powder, looking nice. Stratton's got some new snow, and so does Boyne Mountain. Well, if you are planning to do a little skiing this weekend, I'd say Saturday might be your best bet, because we'll generally be sunny. Shouldn't have any trouble traveling up to the resorts or even coming back if you're going to come back home that night. Sunday, it looks like some of this moisture from the south is going to be moving on in, and for the most part, we've got a very warm pattern setting up, so it will be liquid precipitation we'll be dealing with. A lot of liquid precipitation we're dealing with now, some strong thunderstorms in the south. We'll check them out on radars next.
Daytona Speedway Friday, right? Winston Cup practice at the moment. Time is 20 past 9 Friday morning. Sitting yesterday was opposite that sign. area somewhere. Because it was against the back of that wall that separates the two stands. Today's general admission, $30, sit anywhere.
This time, it'll be 1 lap until green, 1 lap until the start of the Florida 200. Further back B.J. Mackey in second, David Hutto in third, Ed Howell in fourth, Robert Huffman now clearing the lap traffic, followed by Larry Connell, Lyndon Aving, Dave Stacy, and Keith Longmire. Up front of the head of the field is Will Hopgood leading the whole.
David Hutto stepping out of the direction number 97. He will walk across. Trial will cross grass and pit road. David Hutto riding out a wild ride across the asphalt apron from turn number 4. Relatively heavy impact. Once again, sound construction mandated by NASCAR rules and all divisions, including crash series. Car holding up well. David Hutto. Step out. Walk away. And top of his car. And possibly another death machine. Needs to be straightened out. Next place on the schedule.
NASCAR and NBNA, I should say, American Bank, are nowhere to go, but a good piece of driving by Keith Longmire goes up to the apron, and he got through this melee here in the trial. Leading the safety bar under caution at lap 56 of 80. Caution is on the speedway, and a tough break for all of the lead cars here as they came off the trial and made contact.
We'll try to recap that. Coming down off turn number 4 into the trial. Side by side for the lead. They'll now get on the outside. Edward Howell was on the inside. Just as they reach the point at which they start to
Stepped from his automobile. A round of applause for Danny Curtis, who has stepped from his car and is now cruised tending to the Ed Howell machine here at the start-finish line. But good news, Danny Curtis has cleared the car, and also Will Hopgood now motoring around the speedway. It's now Ed Howell has stepped from his car. Everyone safe and sound after this incident, all being debris on the racetrack. With good news here at Daytona.
as although likely in the Pontiac base car leads them to the stripe, the beneficiary of all the spinning and crashing in front of him, George Crenshaw with a Campbell suit, number 07, and B.J. Mackey in second. Lyndon Aving will now show third, moving to the fourth place to get protection after great avoidance of the crashing cars in the car level. Number 29.
Won this race back in 1987 and
unfortunately, you lose just one position in spite of taking the checker at Milwaukee pace. Field pulls down the road. Larry Cottle, one of the record books, not only as the winner of the Florida 200 for the third time, but also as the man who traveled part of the 80 lap distance backwards in order to reach the checker flag, just showing tremendous power in the number 12 Husqvarna Dodge. He saved it when he took his wild ride and grass, back on the track, still in the top 5. But this lap, yes, the leader at that time, George Crenshaw, officially on the 69th lap. We'll go to victory lane, ladies and gentlemen, your Florida 200 winner, North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. Larry Cottle, second year in a row, the Dodge comes home victor in the Florida 200.
North Carolina, Dale Earnhardt. Good to see you. Welcome back to IROC.
It's good to be back.
These cars work awfully well. I think Jay's guys seem to have them dialed in well again.
Well, they work awful hard on them. Jay and the guys do a great job with preparing the cars. They're pretty equal, and all us drivers get out there and make shambles out of them. We race side by side. There's a couple of us we have a good time doing it. It's always a privilege to be in IROC, and racing against all these great chases.
Dale, good to see you, and best of luck this weekend. Dale Earnhardt. The next of our champions will be making his International Race of Champions debut, the youngest driver to ever compete in 19-year history of IROC. He capped his best year at stock cars by finishing 8th in NASCAR Winston Cup points, winning 3 times last year, including the Busch Clash and the Brickyard 400 from Pittsboro, Indiana. Jeff Gordon. Congratulations on your IROC selection.
Please, will Jason Emily please report to the start-finish line? Jason Emily, your party awaits you at the start-finish line.
760,000, and for just starting, you're credited with a $40,000 purse. If you come home dead last in the IROC series, you're guaranteed of at least $40,000. Doyle Ford atop the flag stand. He'll be giving the field the one to go signal this time. Elmo Langley now driving the pace car. He'll be pulling away from the field. Again, the front row, Ricky Rudd in the orange car. The aqua car is Dale Earnhardt. The green is Al Unser Jr. and the silver is Steve Millen. The lime green is Scott Pruitt. The powder blue, Rusty Wallace. The dark blue, Mark Martin. The cream color is Ken Schrader. The red is Hurley Haywood. The yellow, Tom Kendall. The back row, the white car, Steve Kinzer. The pink car, Jeff Gordon. And the green is cars not equipped with rev limiters, so it is up to the drivers to make sure that they do hit their shift points correctly. Ricky Rudd showing the way with Dale Earnhardt settling into the second spot. The lime green of Scott Pruitt, he's made the quick move now. He'll pull up the third spot from his fifth place on the grid. So Scott Pruitt, the driver who makes the early run here. Single file up into turn number 3, except in the back of the field where Tom Kendall will drop to the low side of the track and get bypassed. He'll fall in at 12th. One lap complete for the race leader in the orange car, Ricky Rudd. Take the lead for the green car drivers, but also with SCCA Trans Am experience. Those two, Al Jr. and Pruitt, go to the lead. Al Unser Jr. watching as Pruitt now walks to the high side as Mark Martin tried to sneak through off the rim of turn number 2. Midway down the back stretch. Hurley Haywood straightaway with the red car. Hurley Haywood now trying to work himself off the low side in a second place. Maybe as far as 11th place, he'll get back in line in 9th. That was a calculated gamble to get back to the front and pick up bonus points. But it doesn't work for Dale Earnhardt. He's back in 9th spot. Jr. leads. Jeff Gordon is second. Ken Schrader third. Ricky Rudd fourth. Rusty Wallace is fifth. Steve Kinzer is sixth. Mark Martin runs seventh. Scott Pruitt is eighth. Dale Earnhardt ninth. Tommy Kendall is 10th. 11th is Hurley Haywood. And then about a half distance in the backstretch further behind is 12th place Steve Millen. Dodge Avenger, getting some traffic help from those behind him. And he will grab the lead, the youngest driver to ever compete in the International Race of Champions, becomes the youngest driver to ever lead in an IROC event. As Jeff Gordon goes to the front. Enjoys a half-lap advantage and then disappears as Ricky Rudd comes charging back in the orange car and wrestles the lead away from Jeff Gordon. Jr. holding off all challenges right now. He's got a two-car length lead. That's breathing room here today. Now closes back in. Here goes Earnhardt. Dale cuts to the inside. And turn 3, Earnhardt will grab the lead. Can he hang on? Unser Jr. looks high. Nothing there. Unser Jr. can't make the pass back down low as Dale Earnhardt takes the lead. last lap, it will be the white flag next time by for the race leader. Of course, you'll be going to victory lane. You'll be hearing what the winner has to say. Here's Al Unser Jr. trying to do to Earnhardt what Dale did moments ago, and that is pass going into turn number 3, but Earnhardt takes away the inside. Mark Martin watching and waiting in third spot to see if he has a chance to make a move. Single file to the stripe. White flag comes going up the line. Here goes Al Unser Jr. now. He'll cut to the inside. Little Al makes the low move. He'll grab the lead going into turn number 1. Now as the cars behind him begin to scramble just a bit, it allows Unser Jr. to take a 2-car length lead over Dale Earnhardt. Mark Martin third, Pruitt fourth, Schrader fifth. Here now comes the back in the second spot as Unser Jr. comes to the inside. Here the spot. Earnhardt tries on the outside. The cars get together. Unser Jr. spins into the outside retaining wall. Everybody else gets by. Dale Earnhardt leads. This is an official race. They are racing back to the checkered flag for the win. Here comes Earnhardt. Pruitt in the green car trying to make a move behind him. Earnhardt climbing. Wallace is fifth. Kendall will finish sixth. Seventh is Kinzer. And Al Unser Jr. climbing from his race car. He is okay, but he is dejected as down at the back straightaway going into turn number 3. In a scramble for the lead, Unser Jr.'s car was...
All them cars were coming at a speed that they just can't stop them. And I was on the brakes as we was coming to them, and I got into them and just went across the front of the car.
It seemed like all race long that the highline was the way around. If somebody went down low, whether it's Gordon or yourself going into 1 and 2 or going into 3 and 4, that the highline was the fast way around the racetrack.
Well, it was, but I could run fast around the bottom. But if you do around the bottom, you go out by yourself, and they grab back to you on the straightaway. So that wasn't no point in that until the last lap. We was going to try something, a little out.
Yeah, talk about a taste, Bob. You've heard of someone living vicariously through someone else. Well, this year race fans get to do that. It is the ultimate interactive experience here at NASCAR World, just across the street from the Speedway. Now, the Pit Stop Challenge is one of just many examples of what people can do, what race fans can come and do here. People get to be part of a mock pit crew, changing tires and refueling race cars just like the pros do. Fans can also get a chance to see how some of the in-car cameras work and basically get an up-close look for themselves at many of these high-tech race cars. Now, a lot of the fans who are here this week, as you mentioned, do not even have a ticket for the big race on Sunday. Amazingly, we have learned that by the time the green flag falls on Sunday, next year's Daytona 500 will already be a virtual sellout, so if you want to come to the 500 sometime, make plans now for 1997. That's your best bet. We are live in Daytona Beach. I'm Jennifer Hodges, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
All right, thanks, Jennifer. Another round of budget cuts at NASA has some people on the Space Coast worried about shuttle safety. A live report is next.
The loss of a cruise ship has Port Canaveral accountants seeing a lot of red these days. That story coming up as well. And we'll have a story about a family named Brady. We'll see what Alice the maid is cooking up these days. Stay with us.
Let me annoy you with some of these facts. 83 degrees in Orlando, 82 in Daytona Beach, 82 in Melbourne, and 84. These are the official high records. They go in the record book. Here's what it looks like on the Doppler radar. You can see the shower activity up here in Marion County, a pretty good sized one too, about a level 2 or 3, and that's going to drop a lot of rain. This may be a precursor for what's going to happen this weekend. Looks like rain's going to move into our Saturday. We got a 50% chance, mentioned in the forecast. Let me show you what we have on the lightning indicator tonight, because this stationary front that we keep referring to stretches from Georgia across the Florida Panhandle down into the Gulf of Mexico, and it's slowly making its way into Central Florida. It will continue this forward progress into Central Florida and then stop momentarily for a short time over Central Florida tomorrow. Then it'll start moving again and then push on down to South Florida on Sunday, and that will finally start clearing some things up and also bring our temperatures back down into the 70s for Monday. But in the meantime, looks like Saturday and Sunday are going to be overcast, and there's a chance for some showers. Let me show you what it looks like on a composite radar. You can actually see some of the rain up here in the Panhandle trying to make its way into our weather picture for this weekend. There's the cloud cover associated with it. Lots of clouds, and once that moves into our Central Florida area, pretty much that's going to dominate the weekend. Here's what our computer shows is expected for Sunday. Going to the Daytona 500, temperature near 80. Take on an umbrella just in case. The sun turns all the way down to Mexico and bringing a good chance of wet weather right across the southeast. At the same time, here is the cloud cover. It corresponds with that jet as it moves across the southeast. A lot of moisture coming up from the Gulf of Mexico, and almost stationary front trying to push its way to Central Florida. And for us, it looks like chance for some showers and some thunder showers over the weekend. 50% chance for Saturday, 40% chance for Sunday. Here's some temperatures right now in 70s and 80s. Here's a look at the on-the-coast forecast. It's calling for 80 for a high, mixed skies, seems 3 to 6 feet. The afternoon forecast is for mixed skies and a high tomorrow of 85 after an overnight low of 64. The chance of rain actually is 50% for tomorrow. The 5-day forecast promises temperatures in the 80s, but finally a break from the temperatures, but it's going to take a little rain showers over the weekend. So if you're going to the Grand Food Festival, Saturday, Sunday, take along another day.
I'll do it. All right, thanks a lot. Up next in sports, spring training is underway here in Florida. A spring training that will be remembered for all the wrong reasons. Pat Clark has the story when we come back.
And coming up tonight at 11 o'clock, a fixie situation for a garbage worker today. The mud was a little more than sheets of Kendall. We'll tell you how this happened tonight.
Speedway Daytona as we get closer to the 500 Sunday afternoon. Everyone looks forward to the IROC race on Friday. Today, 12 all-star drivers to the track and identically prepared Dodge Avengers. Dale Earnhardt won, but this thing was not without incident on the backstretch of the final lap. He slammed the rear of Al Unser Jr.'s car and sent him into the wall. Unser was okay, and Earnhardt won the race. Now he'll look ahead to Sunday. He has never won, of course, the big one at Daytona. Earlier today, the Florida 200, Will Hopgood, the pole sitter in this one, but his time at the front of the pack would be short-lived because he would not be around for the end of the race. Out of turn 4, Edward Howell of Lakeland slides into Hopgood. Hopgood heads into the wall. Howell into the infield. This thing is not over. Watch what happens to him. He'll get clipped by Doug Thompson. The good news is that no one was hurt in the accidents. Mike Amick would win this race. The driver from Pensacola, Florida, finished second. His name was Paul Clark. Magic back at home at the arena.
is home to the 3rd annual Slick 5300 NASCAR Winston Cup Series race on July 9th, the New England Chevy Dealers 250 Busch Series event on May 13th, and Busch North Series and Federal Modified Tour events in April, July, and September. We also have a vehicle representing Steel Southeast. Steel, the official outdoor power equipment of the Daytona International Speedway. And on behalf of the over 100,000 Winn-Dixie associates and millions of Winn-Dixie customers who are NASCAR racing fans, Winn-Dixie is proud to be part of NASCAR racing by sponsoring the Mark Martin NASCAR Busch Series Grand National Division number 64 Thunderbird. We're looking forward to a great 1995 Busch Series season. Also with us, Jim Sweeney of Jacksonville, Florida, is driving the car representing Jack's Raceways. Jack's Raceways runs through the NASCAR Winston Racing Series banner every Saturday night. Riding in the car with Jim Sharp, director of the Jack's Raceways Hall of Fame. Next in our lineup is the number 54 Ford Thunderbird, sponsored by Queen Brand Products and driven by Richie Mickle of Concord, North Carolina. The hard-driving Queen X car is also co-sponsored by Kids Across America, the non-profit outreach program for our nation's youth. Miller Industries, Century, Holmes, and Challenger equipment because of their reliability and dependability in the most crucial towing and recovering situations during our racing events. For heavy trucks, motorhomes, vans, and automobiles, if you are in need of a reliable, efficient towing and recovery equipment for your business, Miller Industries, the world leader for towing and recovery equipment, is your best choice.
45 Busch Series cars roar to life down on the pit lane, getting set for the Goodies 300. You can hear the great action today from MRN Radio, Goodies 300 on 1150 AM, WNDB, and 102.7 FM, WKHR. Already on the high goals, on tap to provide us with flag coverage of the Goodies 300.
You're driving.
Well, wait a minute, I can't drink. I always thought that'd be a lot of fun this time to lay back today.
Everybody else has gone to the 8-banger here this afternoon to start the 14th year of the NASCAR.